Hello, Lena. Welcome to your butterfly intuition reading. In this reading, I'm going to be channeling messages, answers, guidance, anything that you need to know regarding your situation with Johnny. You are asking the questions if you will reconcile with him, if he has regret on how he handled things, and will he forgive you. So I have called in spirit. I have called in your angels and spirit guides, Johnny's angels and spirit guides, along with my angels and spirit guides, Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, asking for the answers, the messages, what you need to know. I ask for you to sit back, relax, close your eyes if you feel guided to, and allow the messages to come forth as they're supposed to and as spirit intends. So I'm going to do a mini energy check-in on Johnny, your connection. This will help bring forth the messages and the answers to the questions that you have. So ancestors, angels, spirit guides, spirit, what is the overall energy, the current headspace, and the current heart space for Johnny when it comes to Lena and their connection? What is he thinking? What is he feeling? Especially in regards to reconciliation, forgiveness, and maybe any regrets that he has. What can you tell us? What can you tell Lena about Johnny's overall energy, his current headspace, and his current heart space regarding Lena and their connection? So overall, he is going through a purge. So what has happened between the two of you has really caused him to just really look at his life and to see what he needs to change. Basically, he's doing that. What should stay? What should go? Who should stay? Who should go? Who should come back? What should come back? So he's in a purging. So that purging is connected to healing, and water, I feel, is making him get in touch with his feelings and emotions, maybe a little bit more than he likes to. So this purging is showing him the importance of connecting to his heart. So this is causing him to have big dreams. So big dreams shows me that he is having very vivid dreams at this time. He definitely is dreaming of you. You could be dreaming of him. But he is replaying some things in the dream state that his subconscious and his higher self are trying to show him. So right now, his focus is his family. So there could be a family issue that he's dealing with, or he is just choosing to spend time with his family, maybe reconnecting. He could be having dreams about his family, maybe that are tied to like inner child wounds, past life wounds, but he is focusing on the family right now. But when it comes to you, nostalgia shows me that he is thinking of you heavily. He is reminded of you. He is seeing signs and synchronicities of you. He is in that space to overall just get you on his mind when he's trying not to. Because he is doing shadow work, this is showing me with him doing shadow work that this is very difficult when he is reminded of you, or when you just pop into his head. So what are his thoughts towards Lena? Does he have any regret on how he handles things? So I'm hearing yes and no. So on a subconscious level, he does feel that he could have handled it differently, but he's not ready to admit it yet. So that is causing him to go into a dark night of the soul. So a dark night of the soul is healing. So that's really what the purge is about. He's going through a dark night of the soul. He's having things come up to the surface that he needs to heal. So what does he need to heal? He needs to heal things that affect him, that keep him in his pride and ego. So because the message came through that he is not wanting to admit on a physical level of what he did, or maybe he feels that he was too abrupt, he was too harsh, his pride and ego are keeping him from admitting that. That is why shadow work is coming through and dark night of the soul is coming through. So it's like he's being shown, you have to do this, you have to heal this, you have to let go of this, but it's almost like his physical self is fighting it. So, and that's normal, because when each one of us are being shown something that we have to heal, if we are not physically ready to heal it, it is not going to get healed. We are going to bury it, we're going to ignore it, we're going to do everything we can not to deal with it. But in his heart, when it comes to you, Tribe shows me that he does still feel for you. So there is love there. It's just he's not expressing how he feels. There are moments when he gets overwhelmed and he misses you, but he doesn't want to speak. So right now, overall, he's just in a space where he just needs to be on his own. So I want to look further into these blocks that are keeping him from expressing himself, talking to you, even just admitting to himself why he can't just admit his true feelings. So what can you tell us, ancestors, spirit guides, angels, on why Johnny is blocking this communication and the realization? So when he looks at your pictures, he gets nostalgic. But then, when he thinks about contacting you, self-indulgence pops in because he becomes afraid. And he doesn't know how to do it. So the sword and the rose shows me that you are the rose. You are this beautiful rose. And the sword, which sword is like in tarot, when you have a sword, when the sword is up, it's guarded. So he's guarded. He's blocking his heart. He's not communicating, because swords is air energy. Air energy is communication and balance. So he's blocking this conversation from happening. Because the girl with the snake shows me that he is a little afraid that that if he does talk to you, that you are going to want him to just come back and the two of you to get back together. But right now I feel he doesn't think that's best for him, because there's some things that he needs to heal. So it's better for him to say nothing than to do something that's going to give you false hope. So the separation that the two of you are in is needed for his spiritual growth and for this connection to shift into the next phase. So seduction shows me that he is still very much attracted to you. There is still a pull towards you. You are attracted to him. You have a pull towards him. But at this moment, the separation is what's going to help him on his individual healing journey. So now I'm going to pull you some guidance on just what you need to know about Johnny's current state with his energy, his headspace, his heart space, and anything else that Spirit wants you to know. And I do have 2 decks for that. So what guidance, advice, messages do you have for Lena when it comes to Johnny, her connection with Johnny, and Lena's own personal journey of self-love and healing? What can you tell us? Okay, so I'm hearing give him space and don't push too hard, because there's no need to push too hard. Because the more that you push, even if you're not doing it physically, energetically, you can push someone where they repel against that energy and it pushes them further and further away. And that's where the runner-chaser dynamic happens, because the runner-chaser dynamic is more in an energetic way than it is in a physical way. So returning to you shows me that he is going to return to you. 13 equals a 4, and 4 is the number of opportunity. That's how I channeled angel number 4. So there's an opportunity for him to return to you. That's why Spirit's telling you to give him space, not to push too hard. Don't push physically, don't push emotionally, don't push energetically. Allow him the space that he needs. Because right now he's in immature emotions, so he will not respond right. When people are not ready to express their feelings, when people are not ready to change, they get irritated, they get frustrated, and then they cut it off. So that's the immature emotions. But 14 equals a 5, and 5 is the number of change. So there is potential for him to change, but he has to choose to do that. So the answer to your question is yes. In due time, he will forgive you. In due time, he will want to speak to you. But right now, Spirit wants you to know to be honest with yourself about what happened. So whenever we want someone to forgive us, it's because we have a regret over what we did. So regardless of what you did, what you said, or maybe even what you didn't say, what you didn't do, there's a forgiveness that you have to give to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't blame yourself. Don't get into the shoulda, woulda, coulda. That energy has no place here. What you want to do is be honest with yourself that in that moment, when everything went down, it was supposed to happen that way. For not only you to grow, but for him to grow and for your connection to grow. Because you want your connection to go to the next level, to go to the next phase, but that requires ascension, spiritual growth, commitment. It also is about allowing things to unfold naturally. So forgive yourself. And the way you can do that is if you want to write yourself a forgiveness letter. You can even write him an apology letter, not giving it to him because energy travels just the same. And then you can burn it. And if you're unable to burn it, wetting it, cutting it up with a scissor and throwing it out. All of those things work. And when you get into that space where you have that pull to, I have to know, I need to talk to him, I need to know what he's doing. We get into that overthinking, like obsession, walk it off. Instead of looking at him on social media or thinking about texting him or calling him or whatever you do to just fill that void of needing him or needing to know what's going on with him, walk it off. 23 equals a 5. Change your brain and just say, you know what? Just shift that energy out. And that is going to get you seeing clearly. You will be able to see this situation, why this is happening, in a brand new way. So when it comes to Johnny, I'm going to pull some cards from the Lover's Oracle to bring you messages that are specific to this connection and what you're currently experiencing with Johnny. So the first card we have is, you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So right now, because this is fresh, this just happened, you're in a whirlwind of emotions. And it's understandable, and it's perfectly fine and perfectly healthy to be in that space, because when some type of upheaval like this happens, you have to feel these emotions. You have to go through the motions. You can't bury it. You want to feel it. So even though right now you don't understand why this happened, there is a reason why, and it just hasn't been revealed to you yet. And it will come to you in the form of a blessing. And when that blessing comes in, it's going to tell you that when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. So when this lifetime is over for you, your spirit just leaves, and your physical body and all your possessions stay here. So spirit wants you to look inside of yourself and examine what is causing you to feel this way. So if you're constantly blaming yourself and you're in your head a lot, this is the time for you to go within and look within yourself to see why this is happening. Because this connection is a sacred union. So honor and treasure this relationship, for it is truly sacred. So a lot of times when we have issues, when we have patterns or unresolved karma, it stems from past lifetimes, and that's what I feel the two of you are clearing in this lifetime. So overall, the last card I'm pulling from this deck says, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So don't think you could have made a better choice or you didn't make the right choice. What happened has happened. Unfortunately, the past, no matter how fresh the past is or how long ago it was, it cannot be replaced. So what you want to do is, that's why forgiveness is coming through. If you can forgive yourself, you will not beat yourself up about it. You will not think about it. And in turn, your energy changes around him, where then he can start thinking about forgiving you. So now I want to pull some cards to just see the possible future energy for the two of you. So just remember, possible future energy is just that. It is possible future energy, because energy changes daily. It is never set in stone, because it is going to depend on the free will decisions that the two of you make. So what is the possible future energy for Lena and Johnny? So in the future, whether it's the near future or the distant far future, we'll let you decide, Spirit. We're staying away from timelines and attachments to any sort of outcome. The question I ask you is, will Johnny forgive Lena? I am hearing yes. So that's the second time it's coming through. Forgiveness is the Queen of Swords. He is going to put his guard down. Swords is communication and balance. So in order for him to put his guard down, he is going to have to get into his feelings, which means he is going to have to shift a little bit into his feminine side. And the devil shows me he is not going to resist the temptation of the ego. So the next question I have is, will Lena and Johnny reconcile? I do hear yes. This reconciliation with the star shows me universal alignment. So you two have to choose it. You both have to choose reconciliation, and you both have to align to it energetically. This will happen after the conflict, the inner conflict that you both have within your individual selves has cleared. This is going to master the emotions between the two of you and essentially balance the light and dark. So he will complete his dark night of the soul in the future. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring in the energy of the magician, and I'm hearing the word masculine with this card. This is going to have him manifest something new, because he is going to find the strength to bring you the Knight of Cups, which is a love offer, and that is tied to a reconciliation. So just know that the cards are showing me that forgiveness is yes, reconciliation is yes, but you both have to choose it. So just allow this to be the way it is, giving him space, not pushing too hard, and just really what you can do is when you get into that space where you think about him and you wish you could talk to him, because everyone gets into that energy. There's no judgment. I've done it, but I've learned when I switch my thoughts and I switch my focus to not that person, I find that the situation resolves itself a lot faster. So I do hope that this reading has brought you clarity and guidance, and it has helped you, brought you the answers, and it has brought you peace of mind. You can send me updates anytime through email. Thank you again for your purchase. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Love and light to you.